All right, hey there, baseball fans. Welcome to another episode of 162 Times, your daily baseball recap and preview show. I'm your host, Daniel Turner. Good to be with you as always. This is episode 91, I think. So we're really making some progress on the season. I feel like the All-Star break, in my opinion, should come smack dab in the middle after 81 games. But it's further towards the end of July. So anyway, whatever. That has nothing to do with anything that we're going to talk about today. We're gonna do a couple things for you. So we're gonna break down the game that the Mariners played between the Blue Jays and themselves on Sunday. That was the rubber match of the 3-game series. Teams had split the first 2 games. We'll look around at the scores from Sunday in the majors. There's some good news there. We do want to talk about that. And then we'll take a casual look ahead at the week ahead. But the Mariners are off today. So we're gonna save our deep dive preview of the next series for tomorrow because the game's quite late, so we'll have time to do it before that game. If that makes sense for you folks out there in listener land. All right, let's get to it. Bad news first. Mariners dropped the game against the Blue Jays, and I think the story of this game was, unlike in other situations, they got the runs that were there to preserve the game, but then, a bad pitch to a good hitter, I guess, and the game got away, and then a missed opportunity in extra innings. So ultimately the score was 5-4 Blue Jays in 10 innings. The win brings the Blue Jays to 41-49, still last in the American League East. The loss drops the Mariners to 49-43, still first place in the American League West. I feel like they've been stranded in the 40s in their win column forever at this point, and it's true because they got to 40 really quickly, and then the next 10 have been brutal. This marks, I think, they lost to Cleveland, Miami, Tampa, Baltimore, and now Toronto. So I think that's Cleveland, Miami, Tampa, Baltimore, Toronto. It's 5 straight series losses. Really, really bad, and Houston's made up a lot of ground. So it was Kirby versus Barrios in this one, 2 really good starting pitchers. Kirby didn't take the loss, though. The win went to Chad Green, his second in the series, 2-1 now, 1.57 ERA. The loss went to Colin Snyder, 0-1, 1.59 ERA, and the save went to Genesis Cabrera, his second of the year, 3.86 ERA. Whatever. Hits, 10 apiece. 10 hits for the Jays, 10 hits for the Mariners, 1 error for the Blue Jays, 5-4 your final. Close game, right? Kirby was good. He went 6 innings. He gave up 7 hits. That's a lot for him. 3 runs, all of them were earned. 1 walk. He struck out 8. It's outstanding. Barrios also had a great outing. 6 innings, 7 hits. Again, a lot for him. 4 runs. All of them were earned. 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, and he gave up 2 homers. Then the bullpen, it was Tanner Pearson for the Jays, 1 inning, 1 K. Zach Pop, 2/3 of an inning, 2 walks. Brendan Little, 1/3 of an inning. Chad Green, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 Ks. Genesis Cabrera, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And he did the last inning. So the Mariners got a hit and a walk and didn't manage to score in the bottom of the 10th, which is infuriating. On the Mariners side of things, it was Ryan Stanek, 2 hits out of the bullpen, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and a homer. But he gave up the 3-run shot to George Springer and he'd inherited 2 runners from Kirby. I think that's how it went down. So, and then it was Austin Voth, 1 inning, 1 K. Munoz, a clean inning, and then Snyder, the losing pitcher. He gave up a hit, a run. He walked a guy, and he struck out 1 in 1 inning of work in the top of the 10th. I was watching the game at the point when the Mariners were up 4-1. Then I had to leave from the undisclosed location of the woods to come back to Quebec. So all the other action happened while I was driving, so obviously I wasn't watching. But in terms of the scoring breakdown, started well for the Mariners. Victor Robles, bottom of 3, solo shot, his first of the year, 1-0 Seattle. Top 4, Kirk, sac fly, Bichette scores, tie game. Bottom of 5, Mitch Garver, homers, 3-run shot to center field. Canzone, Robles, and himself score 4-1. It's over at that point, right? Kirby's still going? No. Unfortunately, top of 7, George Springer, a 3-run shot of his own, scoring Kirk and Leo Jimenez, ties the game. And then top 10, Dalton Varsho singled, scoring Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That was the ghost runner, and the Mariners couldn't get anything done. So every opportunity to win this game with the good bullpen that they have, and you're trotting out. At the end of the day, they used Stanek, Voth, and Munoz. Normally, that's good enough. But what wasn't good enough is that the Mariners left 15 on base. They were 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Jays left 10 on base and were also 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. But it was that one run in the 10th that really made the difference. I don't have too much more to say about this other than I'm glad they put up more than 2 runs. But again, it's like everything has to work at the same time. So they got a little bit of hitting, but again, at least this time they weren't deserted on the bases. Like, these are good signs, underlying signs. If you're leaving that many guys on base, then you're giving yourself opportunities, but they need to come up with the big hits. And in this one, at least Julio pinch hit at the end of the game, and then so did Dylan Moore. Service used pretty much the entire lineup. Rojas struck out 3 times. That's not that great. A bunch of guys struck out twice. Polanco, Rayleigh, France, Crawford. So, it's tough sledding. It's tough sledding. Other underlying signs that I like: Mitch Garver, 2 for 5, a run scored and 3 RBI. Like, that's really nice. So that's kind of the bad news from our story. The good news that we have for you is what else happened that day. So the Rangers won 13-2. Okay, that's too bad. But the Astros lost 3-2 to the Twins. So the Twins beat them 2 out of 3, which is helpful for the Mariners because they had the same record in that series, so they didn't lose any ground to the Astros. But in a wild card situation, the Twins are now 51-39, so that doesn't help the Mariners too much. Other scores from around the majors on Saturday: Mets 3, Pirates 2, Cards 8, Nats 3, Phillies 0, Braves 6, Tigers 5, Reds 1, Cubbies 5, Angels nothing, Marlins 7, White Sox 4, Guardians 5, Giants 4, Royals 10, Rockies 1, O's 6, A's 3, D-backs 9, Padres 1, Brewers 9, Dodgers 2, Red Sox 3, Yankees nothing. So the Mariners will play a 2-game set against the Padres on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they'll go down to Anaheim for a weekend series. So we'll preview that one for you tomorrow. But before we go today, this being Monday, we'll do our roundup of the standings and take a look at who's playing who. So starting with the Hogs in the AL East, you got the Baltimore Orioles leading the division by 3 games now, 57-33, 7-3 in their last 10. They've got a plus 106 run differential. It's very, very solid. That compares to the Yankees at 55-37. They're 3-7 in their last 10. That's really making all the difference, and their run differential is 101, so it's still really, really good. Red Sox in third place. They've now gotten above the 500 mark solidly. They're 49-40, so they actually have a better record than the Mariners right now for wildcard purposes. That's unfortunate. We hadn't had to worry about the Red Sox for a while. Plus 36, the Red Sox are. Then there's the Rays, 44-46, and the Jays, 41-49, and both of them have bad run differentials, minus 60 plus. All right, American League Central, you've got the Cleveland Guardians, 56-32, leading the division, 5-5 in their last 10, plus 97 on the differential, an elite team. Second place are the Minnesota Twins, 51-39. They are 7-3 in their last 10, a plus 51 run differential. Then there's the Kansas City Royals, 49-43, 9 games back in the division, and basically the same record as the Mariners. So in a wild card situation, Minnesota would be ahead, but Kansas City and Seattle would be neck and neck, and they're plus 55, the Royals are. Then there's the Tigers, 42-48, and the White Sox, 26-66, minus 164 on the run differential. Still the worst team in baseball. American League West, most important division, led by your Seattle Mariners, 49-43. 2 games up on the Astros. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They have a plus 4 run differential. They suck away from home. They're 19-25, but they're 30-18 at home, and they're 23-26 against teams who are better than 500. So they got to work on that road game. Let's be real. And this last road trip did not help. Second place in the division, 46-44, Houston Astros, 2 games back, 6-4 in their last 10, plus 37 on the differential. They're the enemy, you guys. They're the enemy. Texas Rangers are in third, 42-48, 6 games back at Seattle, 5-5, plus 8. Angels 37-52, minus 78 differential. Oakland 34-58, minus 89 run differential. They're not really a factor, but the Mariners are going to go down to Anaheim on the weekend, and they better win all those games. Let's be honest here. All right, National League East. Moving over to the venerable National League. The Phillies still lead the East 58-32, 5-5 in their last 10, plus 109 run differential. I think they are the best team in baseball still. Atlanta Braves 49-39, second place, 8 games back of the Phils, plus 59 on the differential. Then there's the Mets 44-45, minus 2. Washington Nationals 42-48, minus 17. And the Miami Marlins 32-58, minus 134 run differential. And yet they beat the Mariners in a series recently. NL Central still led by the Milwaukee Brewers at 53-38. They are 5 games up, 79 over the 0 mark on the differential. The St. Louis Cardinals have come all the way back to second place, and they are more comfortably there now. They're 4.5 games up on the Pirates. They're 47-42, still minus 39 run differentials. Third place in the division are the Pirates, 43-47, minus 23. And then there's the Reds, 42-48 with a plus 14 run differential. I think Cincinnati beat every team by like 20 runs in the first week of the season, because their record should not be a plus run differential. But they lose. They're always playing 1-run games also. Interesting. Chicago Cubs are last in the division, 42-49, minus 24 on the differential. Now, all these teams, St. Louis has now created separation, and they're 3.5 games up on the Pirates in the wild card, and thus 4.5 up on the Reds and 6 up on the Cubs. They were neck and neck 2 weeks ago. Final division, National League West, LA Dodgers 55-36, 5-5 in their last 10, plus 104 run differential. They're 7.5 games up on the Padres, who are 49-45 with a plus 23. The Diamondbacks are 44-44 with a plus 8. The Giants are 44-47 with a minus 27 differential. And the Rockies are 32-58 with a minus 149 run differential. So the elite teams are really the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. Second tier would be the Atlanta Braves. In the American League, the elite teams are Cleveland, New York, and Baltimore. Second tier is Boston, Minnesota, Kansas City, Seattle, and Houston. More realistically, it's probably Houston above Seattle, but let's give our boys a chance to turn things around. They are a good ball club. They just have 0 offense right now. The cellar dwellers, Miami and Colorado in the National League, really distinguish themselves by their crappiness. And in the American League, it's the White Sox by a mile, but then Oakland and Anaheim or Los Angeles are really quite bad. So Seattle's playing a short series against San Diego. Houston's got Miami. Texas has got the Angels. The Twins have the White Sox. The Guardians have the Tigers. The Royals have the Cardinals. That's a great series, Royals-Cardinals, a Missouri series. Remember the Don Denkinger thing in 85. And the Red Sox are at Oakland. So basically, like, Seattle's got the toughest opponent out of any of those teams that we're really observing, but it's only 2 games against San Diego, and they can beat San Diego. So we're gonna hope for really good things. All right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow with an evening preview show, I guess, or we might just wait until. They're going to play San Diego on Tuesday. Like, I don't know what to tell you. There'll be starting pitchers. There'll be a lineup. It might make sense for me to do a show that night, but probably I'll wait till Wednesday night, recap Tuesday, preview Wednesday night. You know what I mean? All right. You guys have fun now.